Okay, in this session, I'm going to have a look at characteristics of the adult learner and of a mythical tutor. So we'll have a look at learning styles, and you'll be doing an activity with that. Have a look at some of the fundamentals of tutoring, which is, just the introduction, how you say g'day and all that sort of stuff. This is not, I'm not going to go into the testing of literacy levels, because each place does it differently. Then I'm going to have a look at some strategies for reading, some comprehension, and just a tad on numeracy if I've got the time. So it won't be long. I'm going to skip over statistics because I don't like them. There we go. So, characteristics of the adult learner. Now, as everybody being an adult, you can all relate to all of these. They are creative and adaptive, especially those who are unable to read and write English language. Lost my glasses, oh, I've just got something in my eye. Oh, I haven't got a pencil. This sort of stuff. They have an apprehension and an anxiety, that they're afraid to come to places like this, afraid that somebody else is going to find out. Uneven learning, maybe they haven't been to school, they get shifted around from state to state, sometimes get kicked out of school, have to go to another one. They are problem solvers, excellent problem solvers. They have outside responsibilities. They might have children of their own. They might have ailing parents. Varied life experiences, and everybody knows that one. They have a test fear, and I'm sure everybody knows what test fear is. When you get that grip in your groin. Ooh! They prefer informal settings, don't like the structured schooling, which they've failed at, most of them, not all. They have their own personal goals. I want to be able to read the Bible. I want to be able to read to my child, put him to sleep. They prefer hands-on learning, rather doing than just listening. They're goal-centred, like the same as have personal goals, same thing. They like to be treated as adults. And if you're anybody here, I'm not saying everybody's had children, but you know how you talk to a child? Wee, 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 like this? They don't like that, and I don't like it. They are decision makers. They have a lot of decisions that they have to make all through their lives, and they like the relaxed learning atmosphere. Get up and go when they feel like it. Go and have a smoke. Okay, these are some of the characteristics of an effective tutor. The main one is confidential. They don't go telling the ladies at the bowling club. They are very knowledgeable because you're more than 21, you have a lot of life experiences and you've met a lot of people who have difficulty with reading and writing. They're organised. Well, you have to be organised because some people have jobs outside. They come and volunteer tutor here. Then they have to go and prepare dinner. They're very patient, and yourself, you're very patient. Sometimes you think to yourself, what can I do to get this person to understand what I'm trying to get through to them? So you're thinking of all these other things to try and get the person to understand what you're saying. Very sensitive, respectful. You have realistic expectations. You don't expect the person to come off the street, and I don't mean a street person per se, to come through the door and in 2 hours' time, we'll be able to read the Financial Times. You're realistic. You have a sense of humour, and I'm sure everybody has a sense of humour or you can't live. You have a motivation and a commitment, otherwise you wouldn't be doing what you're doing. Now, your turn. I'm going to go into a little bit of learning styles. I never used to like learning styles. There's a lot of controversy in the academia about whether learning styles has anything to do with, reality. So, a bit of background. These are questions you ask yourself. Why do some students, and I mean learners, I say students, fail and others do well? These questions I'm not going to answer. Why, when they're exposed to the same learning, do some learn and others don't? Why do some drop out? And I've had a few organisations that I've been the CEO of, and they'll come for 1 week and they'll be so enthused, and then something in their life will happen and they can't come for another week, and then the week after that they feel that they've lost so much that they don't come back. And why does school suit some and not others? So the activity that you're going to do is in front of you. And there are different learning styles for different activities. I mean, you can't write a list of instructions to tie a shoelace successfully. You actually have to show. That's right, you can't do it. I've tried. Now this is, if anybody's heard of them, Honey and Mumford. This is their learning styles questionnaire. And they've allowed me to use this. I'll go through each one of them, each type. And then when you get a break, then you can go and have a look at your bits of paper to see where you fit. It's only indicates a preferred method of learning. So if you're a reflector, go quick. You seek meaning. You need to have personal involvement, which is not me. You learn by listening and sharing ideas with somebody else. You can see other people's perspectives. You can stand in somebody else's shoes. You do need that social interaction. You have to get study groups, you talk to each other. You're interested in people, so you're a people person. You're an ideas person. You get these brilliant ideas. And your favourite question is, why? Why not? Why not? Okay, these type of people learn best. You're allowed to, they're allowed to, or encouraged to watch, think or chew over the activities. Think how it relates to their own life. They're able to stand back from the event and listen and observe, watch a group at work, that sort of thing. They're allowed to think before acting, to assimilate before commenting. Some people are really quick thinkers. It's not me. So you need time to prepare and read in advance. They carry out some painstaking research, have to get to the bottom of things. They have to review what they've learned or what's happened. They are asked to produce carefully considered analyses and reports. Help to exchange views with other people without danger. And they reach decisions in their own times without pressure or tight deadlines that I gave you. Okay, the theorist. And this is where I come in. Seek facts. Need to know what the experts think. Collect data. Less interested in people than ideas. Enjoy traditional classrooms. That's why I was successful in the classroom. Probably why you were successful in the classroom. Seek results. So you're task focused, not people focused. What relevance does this have to what I need to know, to what I'm doing? Favourite question, is it on the exam? That's what I get from my recruits. Is it on the exam? And they don't learn just for learning's sake. They have to have a goal. So theorists learn best from activities. What is being offered is part of a system. It's leading to something. It's a model for something. They have time to explore method. Yep. And interrelationships between ideas. When they are intellectually stressed by analysing a complex situation, who are searching questions. Structured situations that has a clear purpose. I failed at drama because I couldn't be jelly on a piece of toast. I can analyse and then generalise. Why did this happen? They are offered interesting ideas and concepts, even though they are not immediately relevant. But they have to be able to make a link between what they're being presented and what they have as a goal. To understand and participate in complex situations. Pragmatists. While we're going through this, I also want you to think about your learners. Where do they fit? Because then I'll extrapolate on that and we'll talk about what sort of activities you need for these particular learners. I don't think you're going to have a lot of theorists as your learners.
Right.
Pragmatists. They're concrete learners. Now we're getting into the... do you know what concrete learners are? Have to feel, touch. No. They seek usability. How am I going to use this? By tying your shoelaces, your shoes won't fall off. Like to know how things work. I have a lot of learners that can pull a car to pieces, the motor, and put it back together, but can't read the diagram. But they know how to do it. They enjoy solving the problems, especially if they've got one part left over. Well, we just have to pull it all apart again and put it back together. My son does that. Oh, look at this, I've got one bit left. They don't do warm and fuzzy. They need to know how they're going to use it in real life. The same sort of thing, it has to be a practical application. And how does this work is their favourite question. So they learn best. I'll just flick through these. There's an obvious link between, it has to be really obvious, between what they're learning and what they have to do on the job. They're shown techniques for doing things that have practical advantages, how to save time, how to make a good first impression, those sorts of things. How to deal with awkward people. They have a chance to try out and practice their techniques, get some feedback before they have to actually go and do it. You know, like talking to yourself in the mirror before you go for a job application. So they need models first. They give it immediate opportunity to implement what they've learned. Not next week, they're going to do it now. So they've got to be real problems. I know a lot of, when I'm teaching Aboriginals or Torres Strait Islanders, they have a particular language, and if I'm trying to teach them to read a book, Jane Eyre or something like that, it has no relevance to the way that they live. So scrap that, and you just get rid of that, and you get something, how to fix the engine on their boat, because they do a lot of boating. They need real stuff. And while you're teaching them how to pull the motor apart and put it back together, you're referring to the diagram, so they're reading the diagram. Oh. Okay, activists. Learn by trial and error. Have you ever seen your son or daughter, you get a new DVD, video player, not video, CD player or something, and they just go flick, 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 and they work out how to work it? I have to go to the book and go step by step. They can be seen to be pushy, they take charge, they're self-starters, they make things happen. They don't like repetition. Favourite question is, what can this become? So these are your arty-farty people. Okay. Engross themselves in the short here and now activities. So they love those role-playing activities. Do you like role-playing activities? Now come up here and pretend that you're the teacher. They like the drama. They like the limelight. They're the ideas people. They like to be thrown in the deep end with a task. They like bouncing ideas off people. They like to have a go. Okay. Now, I haven't got a thing for this, but if you think about your learners, if you're presenting material that would suit a theorist, are they going to learn? No, because they're more in the pragmatist, activist, reflector mode. So you have to think about hands-on activities. I've lost my